Three, two, one, and welcome to the Aspiration Avenue, the video cast where we empower entrepreneurs on their path to success. I'm Austin,
And I'm George.
and welcome to the show. So, today we're going to be talking about something near and dear to George's heart. Our topic for the day is the importance of business plans. The importance of business plans. And George, why don't we just roll right into it? Why is it valuable to have a business plan?
Well, first of all, a business plan needs to be a meaningful business plan. And a meaningful business plan is like a GPS for your business.
And what exactly do you mean by that?
That each business plan should be tailored to the business at hand. Some sections of the business plan for one type of business or another can be longer or shorter. For example, if a business person is looking to acquire a manufacturing business or start a manufacturing business, that's going to be very equipment intensive. So there has to be a longer section, which includes a capital asset maintenance, repair, and replacement plan. Whereas if somebody is providing administrative services, they need a printer, they need a computer, maybe a spare keyboard, and not much of anything else. So it's a meaningful business plan contains a truckload of common sense for the business at hand.
We're gonna have to change the show title to "Meaningful Business Plans," I guess now. So,
Sure.
but you mentioned are those all the elements of a business plan? What are the different components that would make up this meaningful business plan you're mentioning?
Well, the various components, number one, financial section. There should be, if it's a startup, there should be cash flow pro forma. Where's the capital coming from? How is it going to be dispersed and when? Then projected sales would be another aspect, and that would be a P&L. And also, it wouldn't hurt to have a balance sheet pro forma within the business plan so that it's for the business owner and or creditors along the way that they can see what also should be best case, worst case, probable case scenario financially. Another section would be about personnel. If a person is going to be a solopreneur, don't need that section at all. If there's going to be a handful of people, it should still be addressed. One is in that section, the nearby labor pool for the skill set required for the roles that are to be fulfilled. Two, to have a hiring procedure and policies in place so that when someone is being recruited, they you the business owner can share with them what the requirements and or general expectations are for fulfilling the duties and responsibilities for that role. Another section would be concerning legal documents. A common one is a premises lease. Many people are working remotely from their homes now, so that would be another section that wouldn't need to be addressed in terms of the premises lease. However, if there's an equipment lease or employment contracts, those would fall within the legal section and legal document section so that there's proposed, if it's a startup, a proposed lease and contingent upon various things being acceptable along the way. When time is right, the landlord will sign, the tenant will sign, and it'll go into place. But up until then, it's what the proposed terms and conditions are. Uh, so that another is a competition analysis. Every single business owner, whether brand new or been doing it for a while, should know their competition better than the competition knows itself, because that'll lead, and it kind of loops back around to the financial, is proper pricing of the product or service. If it's the local geographical market is extremely price sensitive, then a decision should probably be made to expand the geographical area to where the competition is lower. Therefore, a higher price can be sought for the product or service being sold. So again, in summary, a meaningful business plan is one that contains truckloads of common sense for the business at hand. Does that make any sense?
It does make sense to me, and obviously my favorite is the competitive analysis section. We talked about that a little bit last show when we touched on digital marketing. That you're competing, you're in a zero sum game with your competitors, so you want to make sure that you understand what they're doing and understand where your opportunity lies. One of the things you always say to me, George, is DYR cubed or DYR3, as you colloquially put sometimes. What does that mean for the
You,
listeners out there?
I'm glad you asked. It's a terrific question. It stands for do your research, and yeah, by the way, do your research.
Explain why is research so important, George?
There's many things to be learned when proper research is being done. Proper research is drilling down for the type of business that a person is looking to start or purchase. That things are learned along the way. There may be a pending shift in the market that will help the business owner make the best decision possible for that shift that may be occurring. And now the shift may be negative or it could be positive. Could be all of a sudden, they're anticipating a 20 to 45% growth in the industry over the next 5 years. Whoa. Uh, you jump on board now and be one of the first. It's a strategic advantage. Doing research, like going back to the employee section of the business plan. What's the labor pool? What are your skills? Uh, if you're in the business where skilled trades exist or not, then you may have to expand the search to go further. But you get a feel for the individuals that you're going to be able to hire. It just somebody may have an emotional point that they'd like to get satisfied in the business.
Mm-hmm.
That really should be drilled down on extensively, because in drilling down on a point where there may be emotionalism, uh, emotions and negative emotions, doubt, fear, et cetera, have no place in business. It's and the emotions can be overcome by dealing or becoming aware of the facts of the matter. And the facts of the matter can be learned only by doing extensive research. Now, the footnote to that is there comes a point in time where there's no need to do any more research. But if somebody spends thinking of spending 15 to 30 minutes doing research, yeah, that's not going to work. It may be over a period of days, maybe over a period of weeks, a period of months, depending on the type and size of business and all the other factors that have to occur for a business to be sustainable and profitable.
Eloquently put.
Oh,
I
thank you.
like it. I like it. The section two, a really good point you mention on is that those negative emotions, they don't really have a place in business. And you know, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there, George, who just have the business plan in their head. You know them, I know them. They're like, it's up here. I don't need to write it down. I got this. What is the importance of actually writing that business plan down and putting pen to paper?
Well, first of all, a person who keeps everything in their head is a fool.
Strong words.
Next, the advantage is if you keep everything up here, you have a business that really has no value. Because if you the proverbial truck was or bus to run the business owner over, who's going to know what to do if it's all up here? But if it's in writing, the business could be sustained beyond the business owner, assuming there's other individuals who would pick up the ball and run with it, so to speak. That it also, so there's continuation in the business. Also, if a person gets something out of their head, be it literally down on paper, be it on a document on the computer, it frees up their brain to go beyond and think beyond where they've been kind of stagnated by carrying around all this stuff in their head. So it's, get it down. And I recommend this to people often. And uh, the the weight that they feel is lifted has been those comments have been shared with me often when they start putting things in writing,
It's
and
funny how
particularly with the business plan.
it's funny how heavy thoughts can feel sometimes like that, right? And you just kind of get the burden off of your chest by putting them down on paper, and you're like, huh, I'm thinking about things that I haven't thought about before. Like when you take a brief vacation or a sabbatical from your job, and you just have all these new thought patterns that get introduced because you've filed everything away in a different cabinet per se. I like it. So, are there any other sections that you feel are extremely important for entrepreneurs, for business owners to get down that we haven't discussed today?
Uh, Financial, people, hard assets, legal, uh, labor. Those are the primary sections. Uh, there could be a if a business needs raw materials to make their widgets, then there should be proposed agreements with various suppliers, and that'll come into that's a issue of costing as well as having the proper quality supplies to make the widgets, whatever they may be. And then that flows into the cash flow pro forma. So it's all interconnected. And that's it's it's good for a person to, let's say, they brain dump getting things initially down into a document, and then sit back, and once the brain starts thinking beyond where it's been thinking, then it's, oh yeah, so drill down on that point, and make special notes. There's books, there's articles, there can be academic research, studies, et cetera, depending on that can be applicable to each respective business owner's business. So, it one of the things I recommend that like if there's uh, five things to that I hope people can take away from our conversation today is one is overall keep it simple. May sound like, wow, it's really deep. No, a meaningful business plan is a business plan that makes sense for the business being considered. What a proposed business owner does not want to do is have a business plan that's so thick it's not useful, really not applicable, and it ends up being a doorstop. That's not a meaningful business plan. So keep it simple. Uh, Another point, use common sense, right? Well, there's conceptual and hypothetical, this and that and the other thing. Listen to that voice that, and I'm saying this to business owners, listen to that voice inside your head. I like to break it down to Ligsbyg, Lygsbyg. Let your good sense be your guide. That's the common sense part, talking. That, uh, and again, not meaning to sound too repetitive, do your research. Do the research that makes sense for the business at hand. And there will be a point when you're going to run out of questions, and that's the voice saying, no more research needed. It's time to go into the decision tree, making the go, no go decisions about moving forward with a business. Uh, Now, another point is to seek help. Online, there's some formats to follow for business plans. Another thing may be reaching out to someone who's experienced in business, be it a business consultant, a mentor. SCORE has a number of high quality services, and people, that's for anyone who's not familiar with it, Service Corps of Retired Executives. These people have been down the business path previously. So and it may be, it could be a family member who had a business of their own and still has it for a number of years. It's Help is out there. All you got to do is look around, ask people for help, and be surprised at how willing people are to help a budding entrepreneur. And the last point actually is get out of the chair, get off your butt, get into action. Right? Research is all done. You may have to be meeting with a bank or a financial resource. You may have to be meeting with a business or a business equipment supplier, even if it's just computers and stuff. It's got to have capacity for your anticipated usage. It just, get into action. Nothing will happen if you just continue to sit at the computer and do more research. So avoid at all costs analysis paralysis uh, with the things that you'll be finding while the research is being done, and just start doing it. Some things will fall in place real easily. Other things will take two, three, four efforts in order to get the information that you're seeking and to get into action the way you'd like to get into action. So, in summary, the best business plan is a meaningful business plan which makes common sense for the business at hand. But then you got to get into action to make it all work.
Wonderful. Well, on that note, I think I have to go. Yeah, thank you for bestowing the sagacious guidance and counsel there, George, on the business plans. I think I need to go revisit mine. So wonderful. Is there anything else you want to leave business owners with in closing? I think the 5 points really drives it home, but any words of encouragement for when they get started on their own business plans?
It can be a little bit scary at first, but going back to what I referenced a few moments ago, by doing the research, the fear will subside because then you're dealing with facts and logical assumptions that you gathered during the research. Uh, Being self-employed can be a wonderful experience. It's worth a try. And I say, good luck to everybody who is going down that path, starting a business or buying an ongoing business. I'm sure you'll like it in the long run.
Good luck to all of you. that's the show for the day. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you come back and listen again. We're really happy that you were all able to tune in. And George, thank you for the advice. I will see you again soon. That is the Aspiration Avenue, and that's a wrap. Thank you, everyone.
Take care.